In this video, Carlos and I will be explaining and demonstrating how to build a 110mm drone. In the kit that was given, we received the following materials: the drone frame, the bumpers, the propellers, the 4 motors, adhesive, Velcro, the battery, and the receiver. Before we can begin working with the frame and the bumpers, we have to solder the wires of the motors onto the receiver. When soldering the wires onto the receiver, you have to make the wires stay in place, but make sure that you don't solder the wires together. If you do this, you'll end up frying the receiver. To complete this step successfully, we created a guide to look at. On this guide, it tells us that section M1 and M4 use the black and white wires. The black wires are negative and the white wires are positive. Section M2 and M3 use the red and blue wires. The red is positive and the blue is negative. Once you finish soldering, you can begin working on the frame of the drone. Attach the bumpers onto the frame. Then put lube on the motors you just soldered to place them into the bumpers. Before you place them in, make sure that the side of the receiver with the black squares is facing up. After the motors are put in, the next best thing to do is test them. To do this, place small square pieces of index cards onto the motors. Connect the battery to the drone and then the battery to the controller. To test the motors, you slowly move the joysticks of the controller up and down. If you see the index card spinning, it works. If not, you soldered something wrong. Once you are positive that everything works, you can stick everything together. Take the adhesive and cut it in half. Stick one side onto the frame and the other onto the receiver. You also need to attach the battery because you don't want it floating around while you're trying to fly. So you take the soft part of the Velcro and stick that onto the drone, well, the frame of the drone, and take the rough side of the Velcro and stick that onto the battery. Now you have successfully put it together, but now you have to learn how to fly it.
Now we are ready to see our drone fly. It will not be calibrated when first turning on the drone and connecting it to the controller. This means it will veer off in any direction instead of ascending straight up from the ground. This is simply fixed by pressing on the directional arrow buttons next to the joysticks on the controller. Be sure to press on them in the opposite direction that the drone is flying towards in order to stabilize it. Now that we have a calibrated drone, we are ready to watch this baby fly. Here are a few things to remember when you fly your very own 110mm drone. The left stick controls the rotation of the drone and the speed at which the propellers spin. When you move the left stick left and right, it rotates the drone clockwise and counterclockwise. When you move the stick up and down, the drone ascends, and the more you push it up, the faster it ascends. The right stick controls to which side the drone tilts to. Any side that you move the stick to, the drone will move to that direction too.
So